Lotus with Carolina's own Podforce 5, and I'm here to interview Megan Grant. Why don't you tell us a bit about yourself?
Hi, I'm Megan, and I'm from the Get Dead crew. We make special effects for film, conventions, we do music videos, and we teach classes and make tutorials.
Oh, that sounds really, really cool. So what have you got for us today?
Today we are going to learn how to make some textured monster skins. You can turn these into lizards, you can turn these into zombies, you can make whatever you want out of these. It's really up to you and the color scheme and textures you decide.
Oh, right on.
I'm going to be using some Mehron liquid latex. You can purchase this at your local costume store or you can find it online. If you are allergic to latex, we do have an alternative that you can use, which is Knox Gelatin. You can find samples of how to use Knox Gelatin and how to mix it up online. You're going to need some talcum powder or baby powder or silica powder, any type of powder. You're going to need a variety of brushes, some super basic sculpting tools, and some clay. Today we're using Sculptex medium clay. Other things that are super useful to have is a blow dryer. Any type of blow dryer is fine. It's just to speed up the process when you're making your molds. We're also going to use Ben Nye's bruise wheel. And for our paint today, which you can find online, we're going to be using EFX palettes. So today we're going to apply this lovely monster skin to her forearm. Yay! So the way that we made this monster skin was we took some of the clay that we talked about earlier and we used some of the sculpting tools to put texture into the clay. Once we were done with that, we took some of the liquid latex, poured it into the clay, smeared it all out nice and evenly with some sponges. Let that dry. You can use your blow dryer at this point to speed that process up. Once that's dry, you'll have a piece of latex that you're able to pull right out of your mold. Maybe. Right out of your mold. And go ahead and apply that. Now when you are pulling this out of your mold, you want to make sure that you use your baby powder and a fluffy brush. Ah, that I got right. And a fluffy brush to dust some powder along your application before you pull it out. That way it doesn't stick to itself. So we've already got that part done and we've got these lovely textured skins and we're going to go ahead and put them on. So the tools that we used to create that texture can be found at Michael's. You can get them online. These aren't expensive or fancy tools of any kind. So as we said earlier, we got some Sculptex clay and we just cut off a piece of that. And you can take these tools, and again, you can do this to create a wound, and you could carve a gash in if you're wanting to make a zombie. You just carve whatever shape you want into it. In our case, we did monster bumpy gross skin. And we just kind of took some of these tools and made small circles and indentations using different tools along the clay. Really spend as long as you want doing this and gets a lot of different textures into it. You can make it whatever you want, just let your creativity come through when you're sculpting. So we're going to jump ahead to the one that we already made and put it on her.
Yay, the fun part.
Yay!
Well, actually, all of that really sounded like a lot of fun.
So to put the latex prosthetic on her, we're going to use liquid latex to adhere it, because nothing sticks better to latex than latex. Now, whenever you're using latex, make sure that you're not allergic to it, and that the person you're putting on is not allergic to it. Are you allergic to latex?
Nope.
Hooray! If she was, we would use the Knox Gelatin option. So the best thing about latex is it lasts for a really long time. It does stay on the skin. It's pretty much like a skin super glue. That being said, it will take out any little itty bitty body hair that you might have. So we're gonna put her application on her inner arm today where there's much less hair. Actually rather smooth.
Thank you.
So I've got some liquid latex. Again, this is Mehron's liquid latex. Already poured into a container here. And I've got a sponge to put the latex on her arm. So you're just gonna get a little bit of this and put it on.
Now, from start to finish, how long would you say this process usually lasts? Like, for a cosplayer, how much in advance do they want to prep anything like this?
Honestly, it took me about 10 minutes last night to make this one. So it really depends on what you're sculpting and how much detail you're trying to put into your prosthetic. Something that's going to be larger and have a lot deeper holes to fill is going to take longer to dry, so you want to make sure you have plenty of time and maybe start it a couple of days before you would need it. The application itself, again, depends on something this small, 5-10 minutes we'll have it painted and done. If you're doing like a whole face or you're covering your body in this, it would obviously take a little bit longer. So now I'm just kind of feathering the latex out along the edges here. So she's now dry, and it's taken about 10 minutes for this to dry. And we can go ahead and start painting. So we've just got some brushes in a variety of sizes here. And some water. And we're gonna use our Monster Wolf FX palette and the Essentials palette. So these are water activated, so you're just going to take some water and get them wet.
Painting like one of the Essentials.
So I'm just going to start by kind of putting some fleshy tones, warming everything up around the edges here. Pretty well. We've blended everything out. We've added the color. So the last step is to add some fake blood. And my blood of choice is Ben Nye's Scab Blood. You can get this online. You don't necessarily need a huge container like this. This one gets a little pricey. It's about 50 bucks. Or you could use Mehron's Stage Blood. This blood's a little bit runnier. It's got more of that wet, fresh look. The Scab Blood will stay a little bit more in place and gives you a lot more depth. These are my two favorites. They're my go-tos, and I use them for pretty much everything. Another toothpick to place this blood around the edges of her wound. So you can get a lot of depth with just the blood alone.
So, where can we find you if somebody wants to come and watch like a live demo? Do you have any appearances coming up, or?
Yeah, actually our next appearance is going to be March 24th through the 26th. We will be at Mad Monster Party in Rock Hill, South Carolina. So come out and party with us and see some monsters. We'll be set up there and we'll have a table so you can come and see us and get some cosplay enhancements on and ask us any questions you might have.
Right on. And one more time, just for shameless plugging, where can we find you?
You can find us at Get Dead Crew on all social media handles.
Well, I'm Josephine Lotus with Carolina's own Podforce 5. This is Megan Grant with the Get Dead Crew. It's been fun. We'll see you next time.
Bye.